Have you ever seen a star fart? Well, today we're gonna build one in Minecraft. And if you want to see how the star fart came out, make sure to stay tuned to the end of the video. And also, I have a goal of reaching 100 subscribers before the end of this year. And if you guys could subscribe, that would help me a lot. And I wouldn't have to use that statistic. You know the one. Alright, I was just in the lush caves grabbing some clay, and now for the first time I get to actually use my super smelter. I'm actually really excited. I want to see how well this thing can actually go through items. So just gotta start unloading all the shulker boxes into this chest. And now we wait. So while waiting for my bricks to get in, I realized they're not coming in at all. Then I realized that this hopper has a ton of items in it, because this torch is locking that hopper. So now I had to go through and place that torch back up there, and now they start all flowing through. Actually, as a matter of fact, this hopper doesn't go anywhere. It goes right into a block. Overall, items are coming at a decent rate. There's a lot of things I need to fix. Like, I don't have enough fuel. That's why a lot of these furnaces are actually dying right now. And the items aren't getting split perfectly 50-50 anymore. It's actually really uneven, so I had to adjust these timings a little bit to hopefully fix that as well. So I've gotten about this much of the star fort done. We're starting to get the walls to a decent, respectable height. But I ran out of endstone. Surprisingly, all the endstone I mined only made this wall and that wall. I'm completely out over here. So I gotta go endstone mining again. Alright, and after all that new endstone, I built up a little bit. Now I'm at this height. I'm actually pretty happy with it. From down here, it looks good. I kept these outer things a bit shorter. But now I'm going to outline it. Instead of using the usual mud brick, I'm going to use normal brick. The normal brick has a more intense red. I'm going to use it for here to break this up a little bit and make it not seem as similar to that. This brick is what I originally planned to use for the walls instead of mud brick. Originally, I was going to use regular brick instead of mud brick for these walls. Then I ended up changing my mind, and now I get to see what that would have looked like in the star fort over here. Alright, and after a little bit of brickwork, we got this all outlined, and then we added the strips up on the little mini islands outside of it too, so now it looks like this all around. Alright, now I'm going to work on the interior walls. Gonna have in-stone so that there's like a 2 wide gap at all times here, and that way I can have like birch planks up top here and actually have a walkable section of the wall and have an interior of the wall. So one big issue I've been having with this entire section right here is everything I build gets covered in snow, and this whole area is surrounded in snow. I don't particularly like that. I like it to be like grass and, you know, not covered in snow. So for the interior, I was like, I should put down moss carpets, because if I put down moss carpets, it can't snow on top of moss carpets, and it looks like grass. But then I realized I can put that all around the edge here wherever it snows, and this entire area will just have this bright green grass instead of ugly snow. Alright, I built out that wall. Now I just gotta fill this all in with birch planks. Alright, I got that all done. It looks actually really good now. It looks very solid. I cleared off a lot of the snow. The snow is extremely annoying. Way up at build limit, which is like 312 now or 320 or something. Putting a glass layer. I tested it out before, and it's kind of noticeable, kind of not. I can't think of a way right now to get rid of all of the snow that's gonna be piled up on here. But anyways, I'll worry about that later. For right now, I'm working on the interior. In the interior, I want to have like these red barracks, and I'm using sandstone because it just matches the colors right now. I want to have I think I want to have them stick out just a little bit so it looks more solid and actually looks like a structure. I'm also probably at some point have to put like battlements or something all along here so it looks like a fortified structure and like has cover instead of just being completely open right now. Okay, so I'm working on the interior barracks on the star fort, and I'm just building the structures up right now. I filled them in with birch planks. I got working on getting brick roofs for them. Bricks are always expensive, so often I have to go back to the lush caves to mine more brick, and that's all the way back at spawn, so it's kind of a journey. Right now I'm getting in this smooth sandstone like inlay, which divides the birch in half, just adds a little bit more detail. Basically, I'm trimming this all around the entire build right now. I'm also having a hard time with the sandstone because I have to smelt it. Right now, while my super smelter is working, it is like chewing through fuel like no tomorrow. So I'm thinking I might need to do something about the kelp farm, because the kelp farm kind of works. Because to make the kelp, you have to smelt the kelp. I don't have fuel already to smelt the pre-existing kelp, so I'm kind of just on this cycle of never really being able to profit from all of the kelp being dried. So I'm going to have to make, like, I think a bamboo farm would be the best way, because I've tried putting in other fuels. They don't just work as well, whereas if I just had a constant stream of bamboo running into the farm, I think that would get me some dried kelp out of it. One detail I would really like to add is I think right here I'm going to do this little cannon design I came up with. So, well, not quite came up with, I did find it, but that back there, and then right here we add the wheels, and then boom, it's a cannon. Alright, now I'm just adding some small finishing details. Like right now I'm adding the in-stone that goes in the walls to add a little breakup of the texture. Probably have to go get some more. Alright, just like that, the star fort is done for the most part. Still have some interiors and I'm not entirely happy with that grass. I think the moss did not end up looking as good as I would have hoped. I think it would have been better to go with grass, and I could sneak in a few moss carpets to put torches underneath. Or like I've said earlier, putting up a big glass plate up top so it would block all the snow. Because right now, it doesn't look too great. But now that I got that finished, the next thing I want to work on in this episode is going to be a bamboo farm. Talked about it a bit earlier, and I think that's going to help a lot with the furnace downstairs, getting that fueled and adding kelp blocks. And when I get there, I guess I'm going to get started on that. So next time I see you guys, it'll be in the time lapse. Alright, and as you just saw, I finished building that farm. I did a couple things outside the time lapse. Mainly this pipe that pumped from here into this that starts smelting the kelp. All that bamboo is going to fill up these furnaces, and then they're going to start making me dried kelp that I'm going to take to the super smelter. At first, it was pretty even, like it was getting close, and I couldn't get all the hoppers to fill up. So I took out like the preloaded kelp I already had in there because it had been AFK'd. And now I realize I have the opposite problem. I'm going to have way too much bamboo just watching this pipe and then watching this. I can already tell that this bamboo is going to fill up really fast. I bet if I look right here, that furnace is pretty much full, that's pretty much full. And then these ones are empty. So now that this one's full, they're all going to start loading into here and slowly working its way over to fill up all those hoppers. But once that happens, all this bamboo is just going to pile up top here. That's something for me to worry about later. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fix this monstrosity of a storage system. I don't know why I did this when you can clearly just stack them like that. So I'm going to go ahead and fix that real quick. Alright, and just like that, look how much cleaner that looks. Just nice one central column of chests. With that new addition, the industrial district is starting to look kind of meaty. Got this little 3 section right here all filled out. We just need some farm there, maybe one there. A little cactus farm would be pretty useful for green dye, or like maybe even like a concrete converter which blows up the concrete so I don't have to manually mine concrete, or even a general purpose mob farm. Items like bones and string are always useful, so I could use something like that could have one could have an off switch that turns off either that farm or future farm. And a sheep farm would be really nice. So I think I've got all that stuff out there planned, but that will all be for another time. So right now we can just be glad that I finished this and this is actually now worthwhile. But with that farm built and the star fort mostly completed, I think I can call it an episode. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed, please subscribe, like, and comment. All that stuff is very, very appreciated. Even one of the 2 comments can really make a difference for my channel between having a nice successful video and one that's a lot less successful. But anyways, see you guys next time.